Hello, everyone. Welcome to the pre-show of the Codex podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Sonny Cougar. I'm joined by my co-host today, Dan Kelly.
What's up? I'm here. It's supposed to be Sal, if you can, see in the title card or the title slide, whatever you want to call it. It was supposed to be Sal, but he got called away on important Italian Guido business. There was a break-in at the meatball factory, and there's marinara everywhere, Italian cold cuts, slapped up against the wall, the Italian sub dressing, just bottles and bottles of it all over the place. It's just a huge mess. So he has to go clean all that up.
And if there's all that going on, like you said, the meatballs all getting destroyed. He's gonna go there, and there's gonna be more than marinara sauce around. Sal's gonna spread some blood.
What's up, Chris? Yeah. He's he made sure to put on his best gold chains and gold bracelets and gold rings and hop on his trusty Vespa, and he's on the way there now.
He's gonna take care of some business.
Yeah, he's on the way there now with Guido and Rocco.
And and speaking of Sal, I know he's not here today, but you know what? He, like I said, it's a very important business. We know how much meatball subs mean to him, so we understand why he's not here. But that means everybody should still vote for him for most engaging host, Sal the Slab Guy from the Codex Station. You go to the cbcawards.org. Also, best entertaining content, the Codex Station. And then for best live stream, Comics Unleashed from the Codex Station. For best informative content, the Codex Station. And, of course, best live stream, Comics Unleashed of the Codex Station. So, like I said, go to cbcawards.org. Get in those votes. That's it. Voting ends Saturday.
Yeah, you're all running out of time to acknowledge our greatness.
Yes, we could use those votes. We want to win. But we do thank everybody for just getting us nominated and then also getting us to the top 5 for 5 categories is a win in itself. So thank you, everyone.
Well, Chris, you know how fiercely Italian Sal is.
Yeah, so he's going to, like I said, just thinking of, I can only imagine how angry he is with, any kind of destroyed meatball sub or anything. Sal, he's probably furious right now. So I feel for Sal.
Yeah.
Just knowing the anger he's going through.
I mean, he's feeling so many emotions. He's feeling anger, what's going on? Sal, Tony, the other Tony, Anthony, and Sal from downtown. It's funny because Sonny's got a kind of a stereotypical Italian guy named Yo, Sonny, what's up?
Yeah, I was named after Sonny the Godfather. So I was almost Santino, but I am Sonny.
But he's feeling. I mean, I wouldn't even say he's feeling anger. I'd say it's a rage that he's feeling, but he's also feeling a deep sadness and longing, regret. He's going through it all right now.
Yeah. You think what I've done with toys is bad? Wait till Sal gets a hold of the people who messed up all those meatball subs and wasted all that marinara sauce.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think it's wasted. I think Sal's going there with garlic bread, and he's like, "Come on, boys, let's eat." And they're just scooping it up and eating it.
Hey, no king shaming here. Would that be food shaming or? Yeah.
Hey, we don't kink shame. What's up, Richard?
Hey, Richard. In the meantime, as I said, so Dan is filling in for Sal, so that's why there's one more thing, a little bit of stuff I got to take care of here. So that's why you may be clicking.
At least they didn't name you Fredo.
Yeah, so it would not be good.
Never go against the family.
That's right.
It would have been funny though. It would have been funny if they named you Luca Brazzi.
The full name, Luca Brazzi.
Yeah, that's the full hyphenated Luca Brazzi Kruger.
Richard is right. You hit that like button by Dan Kelly Art. And do some push-ups in Sonny's Bear 2026.
Yeah. Gary was allowed the night off.
Yeah, don't worry, he'll be back tomorrow.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Richard.
Oh, Rich has already got his vote in for
Very insanity. TMNT with 23. Yeah. Dan, what have you been up to? Have you gotten a hold of that DCKO tournament that came out this week, issue number 1?
I haven't. I know it came out this week. I just haven't been to the shop to pick my books up. I think me and Sal are going to go. Are going to go tomorrow, either tomorrow or Friday. But hopefully, knock on wood, hopefully tomorrow. And I've got it. I had to put in my pull box, so so it's not like I'm going to miss out on it. I just didn't pick it up yet. Lobo
Richard said Lobo is the F-lister of the year. It's just, Luca was awesome. Fortunately, I didn't get to read it. For thing of that. Fortunately, he sleeps with the fishes.
I mean, Sal's favorite quote from any movie is "Leave the gun, take the cannolis."
Yes, I'm sure.
That line was ad-libbed by the actor. It was just supposed to be like "Leave the gun." He added the cannoli bit in himself, which honestly, it was just "leave the gun." It's like, all right, whatever. It's nothing, but like adding that cannoli part in, that made it, an all-time great line.
Yeah, sometimes it is the improv parts, the little added things that make the scenes, sometimes make classic lines that are memorized.
Yeah, like the line, we're going to need a bigger boat was an ad lib. In Jaws, in Aliens, when Bill Paxton starts going, "Game over, man, game over," like that was ad lib. There's,
the scene on Midnight Cowboy, with Dustin Hoffman when he almost, there you go. Yeah. Chris says that's his favorite line. Everybody, it's mail call. The other day I was after that Deadpool Batman, and my buddy Dan Kelly helped me out and sent me a comic book, but also surprised me with some other ones in there. So I'll show you guys what I got from Mr. Dan Kelly. Also, make sure to go to Dan Kelly Art to get some Dan Kelly art.
Now, in fairness, I told Sonny, I didn't send this to him now because I'm going to be on the show here for this. Sal was supposed to be on tonight, and Sal messaged me a couple hours ago. He's like, hey, in honesty, he's like, hey, my wife got tickets to the Caps home opener. Like, can you do the show for me tonight? We got really good seats. I'm like, yeah, no problem. So, I didn't expect to be on here when he actually opened the stuff up.
Yeah, so it worked out perfectly. Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Blade Runner. And also, I like the book of that. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? I like that book.
That's one of the few cases where, the book is good, but I think that's one of the very few cases where the movie surpasses the book. Because I like both, but the movie is just so good.
The sci-fi classics. All right, Dan, let me get to show what you got me. First there was the Deadpool Batman crossover.
Yes.
So now I have it, and I read it that night, Dan. Read the whole thing, the story, and the others as well. And look at this. Batman number 1. Is it able to be seen there pretty good?
Oh, yeah. That's the, from the blind bag, that's the Art Germ one.
Yeah, the Art Germ one. So I really like that cover. I saw Sal's video of him opening a bunch of them, and I saw that one. I did like it. So very happy to get it. And then this one, remember we chatted a little bit about it. Amazing Man. When I first saw him, I was like, Dan, is this guy, is he a possible F-lister? And you were saying that you just think it's a pretty good book, right?
Yeah, when it came out, it ran for, what did I say, 12 issues, 12, 14 issues, something like that.
I'm a little suspicious of Guido. Suspicious of him.
It ran for about a year, and then it was critically acclaimed, but it didn't sell real well. So then they did 3 or 4 specials after the book was canceled. Frank Miller loved the book. In one of the last issues of the regular series, he actually did a Batman Dark Knight Returns kind of homage cover for Amazing Man because he liked it so much. And see, Chris knows.
Nice.
I'm
definitely gonna check out and read soon.
Like Gary said, and that's the first special, so that's after the original series ran. But like Gary said, sometimes sometimes comics can just be fun.
Completely agree.
And the main premise is the main character, Amazing Man, is just this guy that lives in the neighborhood and decides he wants to put on this homemade costume and just help people. He doesn't have powers or anything, just wants to help people in the neighborhood. And he ends up doing something like saving this girl, and people like actually take him seriously. And then it turns out that he's actually rich, that he like won the lotto. He just doesn't tell anybody. And yeah, it's just kind of his, his adventures with the people in the neighborhood.
Nice. I'm really looking forward to checking that one out. Then maybe the next one. Like I said, first I did read the Deadpool Batman, but I think Amazing Man may be next. Amazing character, says Booch. And also the JSA was issue number 7, all in. Yeah, I like that Wildcat, that cool cover.
That is a great cover. Now I have
surprised. I was like, look at that, that's a cool one.
So I keep a box, of giveaway / sell / trade books. It's usually like doubles that I have for various reasons. So when I was going to send you the Deadpool Batman book, I said, you know what, let me look through this box. Let me see if I got anything in here that Sonny would dig.
Nice. And
I had two copies of the new Batman, so I was like, oh well, I'll send him one of those. And then
I did appreciate that. So I didn't have to go out and get one of those blind bags. So
yeah.
I'm more than happy with an X Factor issue number 100. So that's that classic issue with that classic cover.
Yeah, that was I had 3 copies of it. Now I have 2 because I have a complete run of X Factor, but my anal retentiveness wouldn't let me just have 1 copy of that issue. I had to have the red foil copy, and I had to have the white cover copy. And I accidentally bought it twice, so I was like, well, Sonny loves the X-Men, so.
Yeah, and an X Factor too, yeah, as well. Like what started me with X Factor was I accidentally bought one of the Essentials, not realizing that they were black and white, but I'm like, you know what, I'm still going to read it. And then so I've started reading X Factor, years ago. I started from issue number 1, so I'm a big X Factor fan
just
as
think
well.
of it like a really big coloring book.
Yeah, they kind of, we almost tempted to, but not going to do that. Then, yeah, Uncanny X-Men was 340 or 324.
That is a cool cover.
Yeah, Vessel of Destruction. Yeah, so this one, that was a nice surprise, Dan. I had never seen this issue before. I'm like, that's a pretty cool cover. It's pretty cool looking character. Was it Vessel? Or do you know who the character is?
I don't know. Like I said, it was sitting there. I have no idea why I had doubles of that. More than likely, it's a lot of them are either books that I had, and then I got a better copy. Like I'm not to the point with Gary where I have to upgrade all this stuff. But if I have like a beat to hell copy and I can get a cheap upgrade, I will. But most of them are ones that I just bought not knowing that I already had it. Like, my list of my list of books that I take when I shop for stuff. I might have
I show that list again real quick.
So I have my list, of books that I need. And you can see I cross them out when I get ones, and sometimes I forget to cross them out. Sometimes I just end up picking up doubles out of the dollar bins. And
well, I appreciate it. Well, it worked out well for me. And also, I was like, man, Dan, we must talk a lot more than I realized, because I'm a man who always says, what if this? And I always think, what if that? And then I also happen to have quite a few what if comics, but I did not have this one. And now I do have it. Yeah, what if Professor X of the X-Men had become the Juggernaut?
Well, again, I know.
So it was a good surprise, man.
Sonny digs the X-Men. And, a cool Jim Lee cover. It's actually, it's a really good, I thought it was a really good story. Those early volume 2 what ifs were just fantastic. I love them. And
I'm a big fan. Yeah.
Technically the first appearance of Omega Red, because that book came out, I think, a week before the X-Men book that he was in. There was the one X-Men book was an X-Men one that had the big pinup Jim Lee did of like, here's all the stuff to come, and Omega Red was part of it. But there was also stuff in that they just never did because he left and formed Image. But there's him in that, and then that book came out, I believe, the week before the X-Men book that was his first appearance. But he he's not like a key player in the story. That really is just a cameo. He doesn't really speak. He's just kind of drawn in the background of some scenes.
Well, awesome. And so again, thank you, Dan. I know, like you said, some of them, maybe you had extra copies, but to me, it means a lot. I was super happy getting it, and so
Hey, like I
again,
said,
for
that's
sending it my way. Yeah,
that's what the stuff's there for. I went through it. I'm like, all right, let me send some stuff to him. What do I got here that he would like? And whenever I sell stuff on, occasionally I have to sell stuff on eBay or something. I'll pick books out of that box too and throw like 1 or 2 free books in.
that's awesome. That's such a good surprise. Like I've gotten those a couple of times. Like when I bought from people, it's just such a nice feeling. Like you're happy to get what you got, and then someone say, "Wait a minute, there's an extra." So
Yeah, it's like it's usually like unrelated to what the person bought, but it's just like, hey, here's an extra book or two, because who doesn't like getting free comics?
yeah, I know I do. And like I said, yeah, I have quite a few What If issues, so it was good to add one to my What If collection.
That was such a good series.
Yeah. And in case anybody wants to know, wants to help out Dan Kelly, who helps me out with issues, who literally helped make this show. He just jumped on and saved today's episode. Find him at Dan Kelly Art. Get yourself some good old drawings, and hey, before you know what the holiday is going to be coming, so maybe you might want to get somebody, a gift, a nice little something to say, here, I know someone so likes this. Dan Kelly's your guy. Go to him. He'll draw it out. Yeah.
Well, I got a
price. Yeah.
I got a stack of sketch covers I've done that I've been posting a lot recently that are just aching to find a new home. So, and I got a couple that I'm going to get, hopefully, knock on wood, signed by people that worked on the actual books at Baltimore too. So we'll see.
And when is Baltimore Con coming up?
Next weekend, October 17th, 18th, and 19th. So I'll be there all 3 days. Got my press pass for my official press pass for filming the con video like we do every year for the Codex station here. And, Gary will be there and Mike will be there. And I'm sure that, I don't know.
Will the most engaging host be there?
Sal's going at least one day with me because I got 2 passes, one for me and one for him. So I know he's going at least one day. I don't know if Chris is going. I assume Chris will be there at least one day. We'll see. And, we'll see who else we can find. Tessa's a nerd, from her Instagram page. I saw she's at New York right now, but I saw she posted she'll be at Baltimore. She's been on Comic Character of the Week before. So, hopefully I'll be able to, find her and say hi.
They're doing awesome things with the on the spots and like the Baltimore kind of coming across a lot of people here.
Oh yeah, Richard is moving back to the East Coast, so I think you're actually Richard. I think he said he's moving back next weekend, so he'll be moving. But yeah, it'll be awesome to
safe travels, Richard.
To see you in person. Yeah, Chris, are you going to Baltimore Comic Con next next weekend? Oh, and I got this too, Sonny. I got a bit of a mail call too last week, and
nice. Let's do it.
I'll go through them real quick. I only just show it because I thought
it's mail call for Dan.
You were who told you can't go? Because I say that you can. I say that you're allowed to. I got a lot of these. I got one lot of these books off of eBay, and Atlas Comics. Everybody knows Atlas was, or most fans know Atlas was the name of the company before it ended up becoming Marvel. It was Atlas. It was Timely. Eventually, it was Marvel. It stayed on Marvel. Well, in the mid '70s, the guy that owned Marvel sold the company, and he went off and decided, you know what, comics are profitable. I'm going to start my own comic company again. So he went and started Atlas. Basically the second time around. It's usually called Atlas Seaborn to distinguish itself from the original one. Now, they didn't last long. They only lasted like 2 years. And really, they only put out books for about 1 year. But they had some big names that worked on stuff. Wally Wood and Howard Chaykin and Steve Ditko and Jim Aparo and Bernie Wrightson and Larry Hama when he was, an up and comer, and just a bunch of really good creators, and they were all able to own their own characters. So I was looking into it, and I thought, you know what, this will be a fun thing to collect. In total, they published 23 different comic book titles for a total of 61 issues between them. Not per book, 61 issues between them all.
So maybe one might have 5, one might have 2 or something.
The longest running series they had a few series that ran for 4 issues, some that ran for 3, some that ran for 2, some that only had 1 issue. And then they also had 5 comic magazines that ran for a total of 11 issues. And I said, you know what? Some good creators. None of the books are really pricey. Let's work on collecting them all. The lot I got from them on eBay they're pretty beat up. So most of them I'll probably look to upgrade. And I just thought it would be a fun thing, to collect, kind of a conversation type of thing too, because, they're kind of forgotten to the years. But the reason I really went for it is because, and they're already in the pile here, the autograph stuff, but Howard Chaykin is going to be at Baltimore Comic-Con, and he created a character named the Scorpion for Atlas that ran 3 issues, though he only worked on the first 2. So I thought, you know what, I'll get those and take them too, because when Atlas went tits up, he then took that character, since he had the rights to it, and he took it to Marvel, and that character became Dominic Fortune. But and Stan Lee's brother Larry Lieber was the editor of the lines. So I'll just show off a couple of them. This is the Destructor issues 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's one of the few that actually ran for 4 issues. But it was edited by
that whole collection.
What?
Got that whole Destructor collection.
Yeah, but listen, it's edited by Larry Lieber, written by Archie Goodwin, drawn by Steve Ditko, inked by Wally Wood. I mean, that's a hell of a lineup there. Yeah, this was a pretty good pretty cool looking cover. The Grim Ghost.
Yeah, that reminds me something like almost like a Ghost Rider or something, or like Mephisto.
Yeah. Demon Hunter. That's a pretty good cover.
Yeah. Good for October. Perfect for Halloween.
Yeah. And
back.
A few months before Marvel had their Phoenix, they had Phoenix that ran for 4 issues. This is issue 2 and issue 3, but completely different character. This is funny. Police action featuring Lomax, NYPD, and Luke Malone, Manhunter. So, they had superhero stuff and sword and sorcery and horror and police stuff, and they had all of it, which I thought was interesting too.
Yeah, a little of everything.
Yeah. Target with 2 T's, so he's serious.
Oh. And then Target. Ooh.
Yeah, Grim Ghost is a good name.
Yeah, Grim Ghost is an awesome name.
See which Marvel character you think this one is based on. Savage Combat Tales featuring Sergeant Stryker's Death Squad.
Kind of reminds me of like a certain Sergeant Rock.
Yeah, clearly this one's going to have to be upgraded, because there's this there's a chunk taken out of the cover and it's drawn on and stuff. But what?
Oh yeah, I got some writing.
I got these books, shipping included. It was like $2 a book. Tales of Evil.
Yeah. For a second, it almost looks like Werewolf by Night.
Yeah. So yeah, I just thought that's it. I just thought and I had a couple of them. A couple of these I already had. I had this Planet of Vampires, which is basically Planet of the Apes, but when the astronauts land back on Earth, it's not run by apes. It's taken over by vampires. And this Fright featuring Son of Dracula.
I think good for the month. Good for Halloween.
Howard Howard the Duck. So yeah, I just thought I'd show those off on here again because it's an interesting thing. And I'll tell you what, Sonny, as I upgrade these, if you want them, I'll send the ones I have to you.
Sounds good to me, man. Especially as soon as you said vampire, that one especially won me over. Vampires. Yeah. But Dan, it's been a good old fun pre-show, and I say it's time for the regular show. However, not too sure. See, we should do. Sal said he made a new beginning today.
Oh.
He said it's a bit longer, and I said, okay. He's like, I'm not too sure if I'll show it. I said we could show it, and I said I'll scold you after if I don't approve of it. But now maybe that made him go away too. But yeah, not too sure. Bruce says, yeah, Planet of Vampires is also a sweet Mario Bava movie from the late 60s. Nice. But yeah, I'm trying to think, should I save it till Sal comes, or should we check out his new intro for us?
No, F him. He decided hockey was more important than us tonight.
Let's check it out.
You said we can ridicule him when he's not here, and then tell him later.
Yeah, send him a clip. All right, here we go, everybody. Here's that new beginning. All to Sal.
It's Wednesday night. The Codex crew is live, breaking comic news, keeping phantoms in overdrive. Right or wrong questions, we spin the debate. Variants gone wild, we open every gate. F-list heroes in the spotlight, stories we explore, reviews and deep dives, always something more. Topic of the week, we bring it to the floor. Tune into Codex Station, adventures at your door.
That was actually Sal singing, I think.
It was not. It was. If it's like he did the other one, it was him writing the lyrics and using an AI program to make the music, which I've already discussed my feelings on that topic with him, so I don't think I need to get into that again.
Well, I think it might have been his voice. It sounded just like him. So there's the new intro. Everybody, feel free to let us know what you think. Don't hold back.
Yeah, it's the bonus track off of her new album.
For those who didn't read, Boo said, Taylor Swift doing the Codex theme song. Big time, fellas. So there you go. Oh, Sal, you're not here today, so I'll have to wait till I get you on sometime soon. But everybody, in case you didn't know, we are on to the actual show of the Codex podcast. I'm your usual host, Sonny Kruger. Jumping in for Sal the Slab Guy today is Dan Kelly. Find him at Dan Kelly Art. We had quite a fun pre-show. We each showed a bit of a mail call. One more time, I'll remind everybody a little bit what we were talking about, that the CBC Awards, go to cbcawards.org. Well, first of all, Richard says great intro.
Oh, Richard liked it.
But, so check us out, the cbcawards.org. The Codex Station is up for 5 awards. Best live stream for Comics Unleashed, the Codex Station. Also for Best Informative Content, the Codex Station. Best live stream, Comics Unleashed, the Codex Station. Best entertaining content. Chris said he loved that intro too. We're also up for Best Entertaining Content from the Codex Station. And that guy who was singing kind of in a girly voice, he's up for the Most Engaging Host. He is Sal the Slab Guy from the
What's
Codex
up, Liz?
Station. Hello, Liz. So now we're jumping into the actual show. But I forgot to mention one thing, Dan. It's October. There's a lot of things going on this month. And one thing is that it's Pitbull Awareness Month. So that's why I'm wearing my Pitbull shirt that says Unleash the Big Dog. It's a wrestling shirt. But I'm like, I have a shirt with a Pitbull. And I love my Pitbulls. So I wanted to mention it. I love them. And a lot of people are weary and they get a bad stereotype. I'll tell you something. I've been very close with them, and I put my face very close, and they seem not to look in the eyes. I've always been good. If anybody's going to bite my face off, it's probably a person.
So that's what happened to you then. That explains a lot.
No. That would have happened to me throughout the years. A lot of damage. I keep trucking, though. So here I am, still on the Codex podcast. We're on episode 172, Dan. So we've got a lot of news. We've got Variant Insanity. This time will be, since Exit Sale's not here today, there was a big problem with the meatball subs getting all thrown around, marinara sauce on the ground. It was a sad scene for Sale, but he's I think he's okay. Like he said, he's got his he's got some bread. He's picking up that marinara sauce off the ground, and he's having himself a good time. But yeah, so for Variant Insanity, I know what comic it is, and Dan knows how many issues it has, so we'll both be able to get involved in it. Sal's not here, but he did still leave the info for which one is slabbed, so I'll take over for that one. Let you guys guess. Of course, we got the usual stuff. We got right or wrong. We have the variant. I just said Variant Insanity. We've got the random panel of the week. We've got the F list today. Carface is joining, and then our topic of the week. Yeah, exactly. I think you could already tell with that name, Carface. And then our topic of the week happens to do with Aquaman. So I will get us started off with the rundown. I'll start us off with the biggest news of the week. We've been talking about crossovers, and a new crossover between Marvel and DC has been announced. And that crossover is the next year. There will be a crossover between Superman and Spider-Man once again. So they will be having a crossover once again. The last time they had that crossover, that epic one with the two of them, was in 1975. This new one will come out. It will start coming out. The first issue will come out in March of next year. But some other news going on is that, another man who had a crossover was Batman. And now Batman is going to have another show on Amazon Prime, and that is Bat Fam. It's an animated series. It's going to have more like the Bat Family, obviously Bat Fam, and actor Luke Wilson will be voicing Batman. And then also, Dan, the news kind of came in not too long ago about Oni Press, and that is, or Oni Press or Oni Press. I'll just call it Oni Press, and that they're getting back to it. They're gonna be releasing some comic books. Also, they're gonna have a relaunch of Mind MGMT, and also because Matt Kint is one of the creators, one of the writers of it, and he is also coming out with a comic book called Fort Psycho. Those who don't know Matt, he is pretty known for being one of the co-creators of Berserker, the comic book with Keanu Reeves.
And he did a lot of stuff for Bad Idea Comics too. He wrote a lot of books for them.
Nice. So, it sounds like if he's still going forward, it sounds like not all of his ideas are bad ideas.
Oh.
Yeah, I got that little sound effect. And then, Dan, one more news. Jamie let me know. I was on Facebook not long ago, in the middle of the night, because I stay up at night, and suddenly I saw I got you said, somebody tagged you in a post. It was Jamie. Yes, the Codex Jamie. He asked me if I wanted to go to something, and it's QuadCon.
Oh.
This is a toy event at the mall, right, not too far from where he lives. Mall that I used to go to. Yes, so there's there may be an on the spot coming your way soon. So look at that. Like they said that there's gonna be a big cosplay thing going on. I said the thing that won me over was that Snorlax Colossus. But even too, you got Peach, kind of like Storm, Wolverine with like a boar head. But yeah, so there you go. Maybe I'll be around all those. I said they didn't have this when I was younger, when the mall was more popular. Maybe they're trying to save the mall. But hey, it's a toy event at the mall, so I may have to check it out. And I got 2 days this weekend because it's on the 11th and the 12th. So I'll see if I see Jamie there.
Yeah, that's the only time you're going to see action figures sweat is when somebody starts walking by.
So we'll see. If we go there, I'll be like, we got at least gotta pull out their phones and do some recording. But yeah, I plan to be there at least one of the days. Yeah, I'll behave. I'll be good.
You should enter the costume contest. Just put your Karen wig on. Go up on stage and do only like your one of your shorts.
You just get there. I got the wig not too far from me and complain. If I just immediately just don't even tell them maybe that I'm in the contest, just go up there and complain. Excuse me. I speak to your manager right now. Yeah. So Dan, some comic news. I think let's jump onto that crossover. Superman and Spider-Man once again. Yeah, earlier
Yeah.
this year. It was like it might have been like January when Sal actually picked it. Me and him, we reviewed it here on the show, and then I loved it. So I think interesting to have another one. And so the original, it's pretty hard to get now, kind of out of print, but they will be releasing a facsimile of it in January, I believe January 7th. Yes, that's right, January 7th. And then for March, it will be the Superman Spider-Man. Then in April, it will be Spider-Man Superman.
And the original one's available in that big omnibus that's all the Marvel DC or almost all of them. It's in that as well. So yeah, I mean, it was one of the first crossovers Marvel and DC did, and when people were complaining about Batman and Deadpool, like, why are they sticking those two characters together? It's like, well, they're doing it because it's two of their most popular characters. They're not thinking about which two naturally go together. It's like, it makes about as much sense as Spider-Man and Superman, or Batman and the Hulk. But they were still good books. Oh, Chris, you don't know? Yeah, there was the episode on here when they were showing off, him. It was you and Gary and
Tim,
Mike,
yeah.
and you guys were each like showing off some figures, and Gary and Mike have theirs nice and they're on display and they look good. And Sonny just pulls out this bin and goes through like every freaking action he's ever had, and he's pulling them out, and they're all maimed, disfigured,
Only a couple.
broken, missing pieces. And ever since then, we, have made fun of him for being like an action figure serial killer.
Yeah, if you want to find that video on YouTube, it is From the Vault Action Figures. So yeah, it's not as many as Dan was making out to be. A little more than I made. Okay, a little more than a couple.
A little more.
Every now and then, your finger breaks off.
You pulled out one of those big, like, rubber storage bins, and you're just like going through every one that you had.
I was preparing. I was pulling a lot out. Yeah, I went to the shed. And, yeah. So sometimes if a finger breaks off or a tail breaks off, it happens when you're 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So check it out. It was good fun. Good fun. Seeing a lot of good, cool action figures. And yes, they have some very random action figures.
You're just running down their faces. But yeah, I think it'll be cool. I mean, Superman and Spider-Man, two of the company's biggest characters. It'll be interesting to see, to see who the creative teams are going to be on them. Are they going to do it the same format they did with these two Batman and Deadpool books, where it's the main story, excuse me, and then there's like 3 or 4 backup stories?
I think so. I hope so.
And then a bunch of alternate covers with characters that aren't even in the book. Yes, exactly, Chris. We've made that joke too. That he like,
on Toy Story.
That Sid.
No, I swear I'm not Sid.
That Sid from Toy Story is based on Sonny. You know what? Maybe that's what you should cosplay as. You should cosplay as Sid, and then you already have the broken action figures to take with you.
One thing with Toy Story is I did not like Sid. However, I did think his toy, it was called Babyface. It was like the doll head with the missing eye. Yeah. I always thought that was a very cool toy, and I did have that toy too.
But Sonny didn't like him because it was too close to home for him.
No way.
But yeah, like I said, I think it's cool. Like I said, it'll depend on how they do it. But I'll be honest, unless they're like Frank Miller's drawing the whole book, I'm going to buy both of them.
Yeah.
I hope that the books remain popular, that Marvel and DC will make this a somewhat regular thing. If they're doing like a crossover once a year or something, I'm good with that.
Yeah, because I think it's great to have it. I mean, look, like we've been fans of these characters for many of us our whole lives, or close to our whole lives, so which obviously been decades for each of us. And to see some of these crossovers, they've never happened. Yeah. We say the Slayer song Dead Skin Mask is about Sonny. I wonder if there might be some songs about me, but I don't think, by the name of that, I don't think it's about me. Again, is based on Sonny. No, I know, I'm very young. I'm nowhere near that young. I'm nowhere near that old. However, I was watching something show me it's very off. It's very
You know what, Boosh? You're right. He is right. He is much younger than Ed Gein. Maybe there's a reincarnation thing going on there.
No way. I'm all class and a man of peace.
But yeah, anyways, I think it'll be cool, especially especially when they let us know who the creative teams are going to be.
Yeah, that'd be good. And, like I said, and they're still to this day, really popular characters. I think it'll be a fun story. I think that's the one thing with these crossovers is that I think most people kind of know we're not going to get, or I'd be surprised if we get these really heartfelt, deep stories. It'd be cool to get some, but I think we all kind of know it's for fun. It's fun, so that's what we want. And I think they could have another good, fun story, Superman and Spider-Man. Maybe they'll have another epic panel like the one when Spider-Man's down and he's like,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
so hard, so fast. Yeah. No. But so there we go. That'll come like to the Superman, Spider-Man one comes out in March, and then Spider-Man, Superman comes out in April. And then the facsimile of the original comes out in January. And like to the omnibus, yeah, it isn't an omnibus, but it is, a bit expensive because it's a big omnibus. But yeah, it is. If someone like right now really wants to get it, and you got some money, you got some moolah, you can check out that DC and Marvel crossover omnibus, and it is included in there.
Yeah, and so yeah, for the Deadpool Batman one, Marvel released theirs first, and the next one is DC. So I guess with this other one, DC's doing it first, and then Marvel. So yeah, whatever. Like I said, I hope they're good. I hope they get some good creative teams, and the more they do it, I mean, it's just fun stuff for the fans.
Yeah,
like all of these books. If you're looking for some kind of groundbreaking thing from it, that's more than likely that's not what their aim is. Their aim is fan service.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, this is cool. Wouldn't it be cool to see what these characters would do? Like, yeah, it would be. Let's make it happen.
Yeah. I wonder too if they'll mention the original to say, hey, it's been a long time since I've seen you. Well,
yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah, they can do it. So we will see. And then Batmite, it is more of an animated series. Seems geared towards kids, but hey, anybody could watch it. Some interesting characters. I know like Man Bat will be in there, and Ra's al Ghul, and yeah, Chris says he has both the omnibuses. Nice.
I wanted to get them. I just, they're pretty. They're so expensive. Omnibuses are so expensive.
Yeah, maybe on Black Friday or something. There may be a deal. Yeah.
Well, there's that one website, the one that sells like the discounted graphic novels and stuff. But even on there, it's still like $90. It's still like $80 or $90.
I'll ask you to send me the link to that after the show. I don't think I've checked that site out. But yeah, and speaking of buying comic books, Dan, I won a good deal on eBay today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I got the whole X-Men Messiah Complex. I won it for a bidding for $15. All 13 issues.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know why I instantly thought of like the current storyline. I'm like, this hasn't even really started yet. But okay, yeah, Messiah Complex. Yeah, that was a cool one. That was a good crossover.
Yeah, so I got all 13 issues for 15, but then obviously the shipping handling like 7. But hey,
yeah,
not bad. Especially when you look at the prices, because I was looking at like the trade paperbacks and everything, and people were selling them for $60, $70 or very used, and for $50. So yeah, I was pretty good that way. It sounds like an F-lister. But so Bat Fam, do you think you'll check it out, Dan?
Probably not. It looks like it's geared more towards kids. I mean, what's it on HBO?
Prime, it looks like.
Prime? Oh, my wife has Prime, so I don't know. I'll probably turn it on. Like whenever it comes out, I'll probably turn it on and watch at least a couple minutes of it just to see what it is. Because, I mean, who knows? Just because it's geared towards kids doesn't mean it can't be good. Like, you ever watch Bluey? Bluey's fantastic.
I was here, but I haven't watched.
It's geared towards kids, but man, that show's funny.
One of my nieces really likes it. Yeah,
man, I legit. I'd say it's worth sitting. And all the episodes of it are like real short. They're like only a few minutes long for each one. But my daughter started watching it, and I sat down and watched it one day, and I'm like, "Oh, this is actually pretty funny."
All right, well, there you go. Blu-ray recommendation from Dan. But yeah, Bat Mike likes, or not Bat Mike, Bat Fam coming out
Maybe
in,
it'll be on there.
yeah, maybe. So that comes out in November. Okay, we'll see how Bat Fam is. You know, if they're doing any interesting characters or new characters, or anything. And then yes, then we talked about, you know, the toy thing. We know how I go. They'll all be good, and all the toys will be good as well. The QuadCon, and then
Will they be?
yeah,
Will
they'll
they?
be, yeah, they'll all be behaved. They'll know to behave. They'll be okay.
Yeah.
In good condition. In good condition, unless some like bad weird kid gets a hold of it or something, or bad weird adult. But
Yeah.
they're okay around me.
Mm-hmm.
I promise. So I'll make sure all is good. I'll see somebody doing something now. Hey, you stop that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were talking about the Ani Press. Yeah, so they said the Mind MGMT is a relaunch. Have you checked out that comic book before or no?
I honestly hadn't heard of it. I mean, if I've heard of it, it's something that I don't remember. But no, I just I shared that. I was like, oh, he's doing this stuff with Oni Press. So I haven't read a ton of stuff from them. Kevin Smith. I don't know if he's still because he put out some stuff with Dark Horse, but he would put out all the like the Clerks comics that he would do through Oni Press, which is I would read some of those, but I haven't read a ton from him.
Well, Dan, I say that wraps up the comic book news for this week.
Come on, fam.
Yeah, we'll check it out. Or
It'd
not
be
too
funny if
interested,
they had like a Fast and the Furious joke in it. Family.
Oh yes, every few minutes, Batman says family, or because it's different, he says fam.
Yeah.
It would be insane. Okay, everybody. It's time for you all to take a guess as to which comic book had the most variants this week.
I am going to guess DC. Now, like Sonny said, he knows what the book is. I don't know what book it is, but I know how many covers said book has. So I will get to guess the book, and he will guess the covers. So it's almost as cringe a word as cringe is.
Agreed.
Oh, what if they made a show called Cringe Fam?
Maybe Carface will be on there, our F-lister from today.
All
right, Dan.
I'm going to guess DCKO.
Okay, Dan go with DCKO.
That's
anybody else? Boo's just going with Something Is Killing the Children.
Did a new issue of? I don't think a new issue of that came out this week, did it? Oh no, that one shot did. Yeah, that one shot came out. That's a good guess. It might be that.
So anybody, all right. Take a guess as to how many, or take a guess as to what comic book had the most variants this week.
I just feel like DC's starting to really get into the game with, having a ridiculous amount of variants between Batman, Deadpool, their own Batman books, and this. I feel like this is the one.
There you go. Okay, everybody, I've given you the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The comic book this week that had the most variants.
Oh, right.
That's right. And I don't know.
It's just natural that they've got all those first round matchups in it. If they did a different cover, and I don't know if they did, but if they did a different cover for each matchup, that's a bunch of covers right there.
Yeah, they're right there. So
And then you throw in like virgin variants and foil versions and sketch versions and all that.
yeah, and like I said, do certain characters alone. And yeah, makes if they do certain how many
Plus
alone.
the A cover.
All right, so wait, let me take a guess as to how many it had. I'm gonna guess 52.
Wow, that's a big number. 52. All right. So Sonny guesses 52 covers. Anyone else out there want to take a guess as to how many covers there were for DCKO? Well, I'll do the 10. It'll be the 10, 9, 35 covers.
35. All right. Well, I did go off, but hey, not many others were guessing. Oh, yeah, we do got to guess.
Oh,
Who's
well,
guessed
Booze
24?
Booze was closest without going over, so Price is Right
Rich-
rules.
Richard. Oh yeah, Richard had gone with 23 earlier. So yeah, I said
Oh,
Booze
yeah,
had
with
gone 24.
TMNT.
Yeah. But okay. So there we go. 35 covers for DCKO. And Sale did provide this. Yeah, the writer Scott Snyder, the artist Shimonico and Javier Fernandez. Colorist was Alejandro Sanchez Rodriguez, and the cover artist was Javier Fernandez. So there you go. That's for the main cover. So DC's KO tournament. So now we go on to which one is slabbed? And now Sal is not here, but I have the stuff to do it. So here we go.
Oh, Chris guessed 1,530 covers.
Well, at least I was closer than that.
Yeah, there's one cover for every character in the DC universe.
Yeah, if it was, yeah. All right, so take a guess. Which one is slabbed?
Oh, for Sal's collection?
Yeah, for Sal's collection. There we go. There's the Batman who laughs. So we'll go from your way looking at it from left to right. There's A, B, or C.
I'm gonna say C, the one all the way
With the
over on
chains.
right. Yeah, with the chains.
All right. Anybody else would like to take a guess as to which one is slabbed? All right, then. So there you go. Next A, B, C. And then now I'll move on to the next one. Here we go. This is some Dracula, the Tomb of Dracula. There's either A, issue number 64, B, issue number 16, or C, issue number 12.
All right, so Boo says far left for the first, or I guess A for the first one. For this one, I'm gonna say B, the middle one.
Okay, everybody, feel free to take a guess. You know, if you lose, you don't lose anything. If you win, you get some bragging rights to say that you won on the Codex podcast.
Yeah, you get an official no prize.
Yeah,
Sonny will send you the finger off of one of his figures.
No, I cannot promise that they're long gone. So, all right, everybody, there you go. Once again, there's the first ones. Which one of the Batman last do you think it is?
Oh, so Booze is going with the first one on both of them.
Okay, and then so this one you went with C, the chain ones, and then for this
B.
one you went with B. Booze also going with A. So here we go. It is.
Oh, I was
A.
wrong on both accounts, and Booze was it.
C.
The
Yeah.
Dracula one, is that the A or the C?
That was C.
All right, so Booge got one right.
Yes,
Yeah.
Booze got one. Yeah. So that one was C. You know. So I already seen the results, but Dan, I probably would have went with your guess too with 16. Yeah. So there we go. There is. Which one is slabbed? So thank you, Sal, for providing us with that. You know, it's nice that we get to play that game once a month. And now it is time for some right or wrong. And first, me and Sal, we were going to split this one, but now Sal's not here, so I said, I got it. I'll take care of all of these. So, right or wrong? And I'm gonna go with the comic book I read not too long ago, and it was the Deadpool Batman issue. So my first right or wrong, Deadpool Batman was better than expected.
Right. Because I did not expect much.
There you go. So anybody else, would you like to take a guess?
That's right. You're always the big winner. All right, so what's the next one?
All right, so there's that one. I was just messaging Jamie back. So there's number one. Yeah, Deadpool Batman was better than expected. You went with right. I also say right. That's why I paid it down. I thought it was. I was pleasantly surprised by how much I liked it. Number two.
Oh, who says wrong?
Who says wrong? Number two, DCKO. Okay, well, this is for those who have read it or kind of know what's going on. So I won't give too much details away. But I say DCKO did not get off to a good start.
I have no idea because I haven't read it yet, so I will have to abstain from this.
Okay, and everybody feel free to put it in the comments what you think, right or wrong. Okay, so number three. Are you ready for this one, Dan? Again, you could answer this one too. Number three. Dan Kelly deserves a round of applause for jumping on this episode on very short notice. I say right, you do, Dan. Thank you for joining us.
You guys remember this when you were a kid, the round of applause?
I was just kind of like, I didn't never do that. Once in a while, I see people do snapping things. I never do that either.
Oh,
Only at film stuff I see when I'm like,
yeah, I'm not. I don't do that. I'm not some hipster douche.
Yeah, so I've seen people do that. And I'm like, I'll just stick to clapping. All right, so that was number three, and now number four. Marvel's Wolverine is going to be the best superhero game within the past decade.
I'll say right because I haven't played any of them because I don't get the chance to play video games anymore. So DCKO, if you're really asking, it's the new big DC crossover where they have different characters paired up that are fighting each other, and they're doing it like tournament style. So like one of the first round ones is Cheetah versus Jay Garrick Flash. I can't remember what all. Vixen against
Swamp Thing
is one of them. Like they're kind of unexpected matchups. Like
Wonder Woman and Starro.
Yeah, Power Girl and Captain Atom. Firestorm and Guy Gardner, I think, is one.
All right. Okay, so with okay, so yeah, so my number four, was Marvel's Wolverine is going to be the best superhero game within the past decade. I'm gonna say right, but there's a couple other games that look pretty cool. There's a Marvel one that kind of looks like the old school arcade ones, but I'm just gonna try to be optimistic and say yes. I think it looks pretty cool, so I'm excited for it. We shall see. Maybe somebody who's played more of the games would have more insight on what they believe. But hey, it's just a guess. It's what you think.
Yeah.
So now number five. It was weird that this was brought up earlier in the show today. Number five. The Codex Station should have another From the Vault action figures special.
Do you have any more? Are there any left? Were there some that were like hiding, that were hiding from your wrath and have been found now?
I think there was a few that I did not get to show. I think maybe some I could show you. Like, see, they're still in good condition. And yeah, there's a few I didn't get to show. I don't know if I showed all the horror characters or not.
Yeah, I'll say right. Who doesn't like a show where we get to show off cool stuff?
All right, so there we go, Dan. So there's the five. My five, right or wrong. So we'll circle back to number one and say that Deadpool Batman was better than expected. Yeah, I was like, okay, it's gonna be pretty fun, but I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the story.
Yeah, I thought the artwork was really nice. The story, it's nothing earth-shattering, but I was amused by it. I thought it had a couple good moments. The backup stories were hit or miss. I think the Captain America Wonder Woman one was far and away the best one in it.
I like that. I like that one.
I mean, I don't say that just as a Cap fan. I just, think that one was the best done. The Frank Miller one between Dark Knight and Old Man Logan that was garbage.
That for me. That's the biggest downfall of the whole comic is that. Let's see. Science Collection is more of a mash, more of a mash unit.
We'll have to get you a
Maybe
Hawkeye
we'll
figure
see.
and then put like some doctor scrubs on him so it can be like Hawkeye from MASH. But yeah, I thought the Crypto Jeff the Land Shark thing
Yeah, nice. Quick
there's
cute
no
little
text
story.
in it. It's just like, oh, okay, this is who cares, whatever.
Yeah, nice quick. I like the Rocket Raccoon one. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, the Rocket Raccoon one was pretty good.
A lot of those are quick too, a few pages.
Yeah. The Daredevil Green Arrow one, the artwork in it was nice. I was disappointed in the story just because it's like, oh, well, Kevin Smith is writing and he had great runs on both of those characters. That one wasn't really that great. The the new amalgam thing in it, the logo thing. I was like, all right, that's cool, whatever. Overall, I thought it was a good crossover book. You gotta look at it for what it is. You're not, like I said, you're not getting anything earth shattering out of these books.
Yeah, so it was good, fun, and that's what I was hoping for, and that's what I got. So it was better than expected. I really enjoyed it.
You're not getting anything earth shattering out of these like one shots. Maybe something like JLA Avengers or Marvel versus DC, where it's like an actual mini series. You get more room to kind of get in there.
Yeah. And then number 2 is that DCKO did not get off to a good start. Like I said, you haven't read it, so I won't spoil it because it did just come out today. But there's a few things I had to look into it, and I say right that I don't think it's a good start.
Well,
So,
I saw Gary said that his bracket's already busted. Was it a not good start because you thought that the story or the art wasn't good, or not a good start because the picks that you made are not the ones that won?
It's more, how would I put it? It's something that kind of affects the whole kind of bracket tournament thing.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I'll read it whenever.
Without there being an actual fight. I was like, I don't like that start.
Yeah. Well, either tomorrow or Saturday, me and Sal will we'll meet up at the shop, and I'll get it then and see.
Yeah, so check it out. Yeah, I'm interested to see more about it. Like I said, I haven't read it, but I was like, I have to look into it before we jump onto the show, and in case anything gets brought up. But yeah, so there's that. And then I did say number 3 was that Dan Kelly deserves a round of applause. And once again, there you go. Thank you for coming on to the show, Dan. Helping out make this happen. And then number 4 was that Marvel's Wolverine is going to be the best superhero game in the past decade. It's more of a guess. It's more of a hopeful thinking that, it looks really. I think it looks really cool. The graphics look awesome. So I'm interested to see how it is. It could be. We shall see. And then number 4 was that the Kodak Station should have another From the Vault action figures. I think we want that. Yeah. I show you that. See, even after all these years, the toys are in the same condition as before.
Oh, what's up, Gary? Got Uncle Gary here.
Uncle Gary, yeah.
One character did not make the initial brackets. Okay. Well, yeah, like I said, I will make sure to read that I will make sure to put that at the top of the stack when I get my books this week and read it right away.
All right, then. Well, there we go. Everybody, there's my 5 right or wrong statements. So now it's time to jump on to the random panel of the week. Are you ready for Halloween? What are you dressing up as? Well, somebody's not doing such a good job right here. Boom.
Oh.
You see, comes forward, and the woman says, "Horrible. Worst looking ghost I've ever seen." Yeah, and that actually does not look like a good ghost. It just looks like kind of like the artist forgot to color him. Yeah. Okay, well, Uncle Gary said he does like the story though for DC KO bracket, but all right.
It's like the ghost of Eddie Haskell.
Might be.
I'll be honest too. I see looking at the art now that she's just like, has her legs tucked underneath of her the way she's sitting. But when that panel first came up, I was like, oh, she doesn't have legs. They're like nubs at the knee, and she's like Lieutenant Dan.
It does look like that, yeah. Except for that one line that lets you know like it's a leg, yeah. But so I don't think this is from the Amputee Love comic book.
No,
but whatever comic this is, it is pretty interesting. And she's completely honest about it. Horrible, worst looking ghost I've ever seen. So there you go. That dude needs to find another Halloween outfit. Dan, do you know what you're gonna be for Halloween this year?
I don't have a costume. My daughter is dressing up as Popcorn. She's dressing up. She has we had a big box left over from getting some delivery, so her and my wife have painted that with white and red stripes like a popcorn bucket, and then has the whole in the top to put her head in, and they got a bunch of packing peanuts to put around it as the popcorn, and then she has a little headband with an actual one of those little like plastic rectangle popcorn things that she can wear on her head, and then she's got a popcorn bucket that my wife put like a string on so she can carry it to use for her trick-or-treating. It's pretty good.
It sounds very creative. I love when I see outfits like that. Like you could tell, like, I mean, it's fine to get stuff from the store. That's how I do it, stuff from the store. But it's really nice when you could tell someone like worked on the outfits. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, when I was growing up, my mom used to make all my costumes, so I had some pretty good ones. When I was a kid, I had a Luke Skywalker one. I had an Ewok one when I was a kid. That the only thing I remember of it is how damn hot it was because they like made it out of carpet.
Oh yeah.
What else are you gonna make it out of? But yeah, it's cool. She came up with it. My daughter came up with the idea of what she wanted. Because throughout the year she'd be like, "Can I be this for Halloween? Can I be that?" And I always go, "Be whatever you want. Let's just wait when we get close to Halloween because you change your mind a lot." Because at one point she wanted to be Harley Quinn. At another point she wanted to be Wednesday. But then she decided she just wanted to be a popcorn bucket, and that was the the final answer. So yeah.
Nice. Well, good luck to the popcorn bucket. Hopefully it all works out. Is the outfit made or still working on it?
No, it's done. Well, I got to ask my wife. Like I was planning on working on it some, and then we got home from going to see my dad's air show on Saturday, and my wife already had put all the red stripes on it because they'd been painting it white. And I was like, oh man, I was going to do that to help out, but I don't know. I think it's done unless they want to put like a popcorn kind of logo on the front. We'll see.
Cool, man.
I will send pictures in the chat for everyone once it's done.
We only that'd be a pretty cool thing for us to do is find old pictures of us in our old outfits. Even the Ewok outfit, and got some pretty cool. Been some superheroes, been some pretty cool things. One time as a kid, I was going to be in preschool. I was a normal kid. That in preschool I was going to be Jason Voorhees, but the mask unfortunately broke.
Nah.
But I still have a picture. My mom got a nice picture of me and my brother at bunk beds, and I had the mask on, and I climbed up and was above my brother's bed, and then she caught a picture of it. So
nice.
Good,
yeah,
my nice humble beginnings.
I was an Ewok. I was Luke Skywalker. I know I was like a samurai when I was like real little, like 2 or 3. I had a really cool Batman costume my mom made for me that I wore for years.
I think most of us, it seems like most boys at least have been Batman at some point. Like I've been Batman, my brother's been, most of us have been Dark Knight.
Whatever you want. Oh wait, I guess I didn't tell you. I've been telling Gary and Sal and them about it. The one that just happened was in Delaware. It was a long drive to get up there. Princess Poppy. Yeah, it does. It sounds like something off of Adventure Time. Wait, what else did I have? Yeah, I was Sub-Zero one year. That was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I was Snake Eyes, where basically I just repurposed the Sub-Zero costume and just took like the Sub-Zero stuff off, where I just had like all the black bodysuit and the mask, and then like just put like an army jacket on. I was like, I'm Snake Eyes. I had a Hawkman costume that was pretty dope.
Cool, yeah. I was Spawn before too. Yeah, as a kid I was Spawn. And then of course like some killers and stuff. But yeah, more superheroes like I said, Batman, Spawn, and so.
The Crow. I was the Crow one year, but there's not a whole lot there for the costume. Put on a pair of black pants, a black long sleeve shirt, and paint your face, and bam, the Crow.
And we may have to get some pictures of some of us back in the day. I think that could be pretty fun. But yeah, speaking of Halloween, before I jump onto the F list, Codex Comics Unleashed is going to have another Halloween episode, so that should be fun. Yeah, all of us picking out some great Halloween covers. So,
and and the regulars in the chat can send some in as well.
Yeah, like last year we had some people send them. Yeah. Bruce said, "Yeah, I was a homicidal scarecrow once and used real straw."
Nice.
Okay, everyone, it's time for a certain list. Somebody you're not going to want to be for Halloween. It's time for the F list. Today, joining the F list, he's from the Legion of Superheroes. No, he's not. He's not from the Legion of Superheroes. Joining the
the Legion.
Joining the F list, Carface.
Damn.
Chris says he's going as a naked potato this year. I'm not surprised. Okay,
Wow.
but here we are on the F list. Carface. There he is. He's like a car, but he's got like his hat on to the side. He has a gold chain that says "Dude." He says, "So this is Platinum Flats? I ain't impressed. You think all them billionaires could afford to send more to stop me than you two?"
I mean, it's not really car face. That's like car body.
Yeah.
At least car torso.
There he is right there with a Groot wannabe and a couple others. Yeah, one of them is called Daisy Cutter. Yeah, answer, Daisy Cutter, man. You don't even know us.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun this year.
And there he is getting punched by Bane. No surprise who wins that fight.
Yeah.
There he is again, and some talking. There he is with his hat really to the side, and his dude plate is turned backwards, so you don't even get to see where it says "dude." And here he is getting beat up by Huntress.
I was going to say that was Deathbolt, I think, talking to him.
And there she, as he goes to talk, she wraps the thing around me. She's like, "Blah blah blah, save it for the judge." And before there he was picking on some police officers. He look, "Go on, call him backup. Call the whole mother-loving department. Tell him Carface is here. I'll make my bones by breaking their bones." And he says, "Huh?" And then that was when Huntress is coming and say, "New to California? Me too." Those cheesy lines. And of course, here he is. As you can see, he was beat up by Huntress, and she says, "Who are you anyway? The Buick Bandit?" And he says, "The name's Carface." She says, "My God, you're serious? Let me guess. You always tell people not to get up in your grill." And he says, "Well, yeah."
That's so stupid. That's so stupid.
So there he is. I don't know how it took me this long to get Carface onto the F list. And then suddenly I'm like, wait a minute. I never picked Carface on the F list. So there he is, Dan. Would you like to take a guess as to the history of this thug who's a car named Carface?
I'm going to say he clearly is from the mean streets of Gotham. And his real name is Tyrone Chevrolet-a-thon.
That fits perfectly with him. Like, I could see it being like cheesy.
And, he grew up in the poor projects in Gotham, and he just dreamed of one day owning a nice luxury car. And one day he grew up and he got to be, and he was, became part of a gang that would steal cars and take them to the chop shop. And he stole his car. And on the way to the chop shop, it was a special car. It was an irradiated car, and it bit him. And he was bitten by a radioactive car that then transformed Tyrone Chevrolet-a-thon and gave him all the powers and abilities of a car. And it turned him into this. And he decided to turn to a life of crime and and this is how we got this guy.
Carface. Dan, you may be right because there's no history of his background, but Tyrone Chevrolet-a-thon does sound like they could be it. I'd love to have been by a radioactive car. But yeah, so Carface, he's only had 2 appearances, and his first one was in Outsiders, Volume 3, issue number 50. That's where he gets punched in the face by Bane. But yeah, he was created by Tony Bedard. And as you can see, yeah, he's made of a car, it's like a car, humanoid car, minor villain, doesn't do anything big. And yeah, so he's in, there's the Outsiders and the Suicide Squad battle. They get in a fight in a bar, and well, Carface and some other F-listers kind of get in the way. And as you see, Bane just knocks him out with one punch. And then an issue of Birds of Prey, I believe it was issue 119. He's just messing with these police officers. Telling Carface was here. Yeah, cheesy lines like, I'll make my bones by breaking theirs. And then Huntress came along and she easily defeated him. So he's not tough. Even though, he doesn't look like the weakest, but there's no issues of him ever beating anybody up except for knocking the police officers down. But against those powers, Bane beat him with one punch. Huntress easily took him out. And yeah, said he was going to get arrested. And after that, he was nowhere to be seen. That's the last image of him. When Huntress is saying, let me guess, you always tell people not to get up in your grill. He says, well, yeah. So that is the end of Carface, or like you said, Dan, Tyrone Chevrolet-a-thon.
No, say it isn't so. There's so much potential there.
I do not believe there is, unless for more good laughs. I would not mind seeing him. Yeah, if you should say, I don't see any seatbelts. Tisk, there's one.
He saves the seatbelts. He pulls those out when it's time for the autoerotic asphyxiation.
Yes. Hey, who knows? That might happen if they somehow decide to bring him back. Someone says he got ran over. Chris says he got ran over by a Tesla.
Oh, that's a better name. Ford Lincoln Mercury.
The names, the long mileage is his weakness. Yeah, he did. Yeah, actually, both times he's never really used his powers for anything. Just been around and kind of stay in the same spot. Character is proof that just because it rhymes doesn't mean it needs to exist. Yeah.
So does he like pea motor oil?
I would guess so. Yeah, it is. Weird thing is that there is no mention. He was always just spinning quick little parts, so there's no mention of like what his actual powers are. Like, is that how he pees? How
Like,
long he can go without needing gas?
Like, is this how he is, or is he a guy that's in a suit of armor? Or...
Yeah, and again, too, yeah, that's it. Like, these are pretty much actually these images are most of his images, unless they're ones that were similar to like ones like this. Like, okay, I don't need to get like a couple images of him just standing in that same position, but yeah, no mention
the sideway hat.
Yeah, the sideway. Yeah,
I guess
he's truly one of the cheesiest characters.
I mean, I guess this gives new meaning to having a grill.
Yeah. Yeah, so there you go. The man, I don't. Yeah, if is he a humanoid car? I guess that's what we can call him for now, because yeah, there's no mention if there's anybody inside of him. They did not bother to give him, like I said, a backstory, a name. Just he calls himself Carface.
And what books were he in again?
See, Bush says, yeah, Carface needs to say hello to my lame-o friends on the F list. Exactly. He was in first appearance was Outsiders number 50, and then his second appearance was in Birds of Prey. I believe this is issue 119.
Yeah, it's 2 appearances too many.
Yeah, but I think we can all agree that Carface is certainly worthy of being on the F list, and I say he stays there.
Oh, 100%.
So there you go, everybody. Carface is, I think, one of the top F listers of this year. I think he's truly one of the worst characters, man.
That is, you've outdone yourself there. That is super lame. You know what? He can be the transportation for all of the other F-listers. Whenever it's time for them to go to IHOP,
Yeah.
and they get
IHOP.
in the bat.
Yeah, him and like I said, in that hat too. There, kind of on the side.
So stupid. I mean, clearly this is a character that was created to be lame.
I really hope he was, because sometimes I can't really tell. Because the grill face would have been a little better of a name, just a little better. Yeah, maybe for as big as he is, you'd think maybe he could put up a little bit of a fight. But yeah, this is the only damage he ever did was to a couple random police officers, and they had the nerve to get mad at Huntress after this. After she, they try to blame it on her. But yeah, so once again,
that's a special kind of stupid there.
Yeah, I know this guy is big and he's made of a car, but I'd be very embarrassed to get beat up by a guy like that, even if he is a robo human car, a toy, or whatever.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, that's so stupid.
So there he is. Carface joins the F list. All right, now it is time for our topic of the week. This one Sal picked out. Sal said, I'm reading, this is what Sal, he did type this to me. Sal says, I'm new to Aquaman. What should I read first? Well, young man, Aquaman is a great character. He's been around for a very long time. There's an episode of Comic Character of the Week on the Codex Station where they give you a whole bunch of info about Aquaman. But real quick, Dan, you're my guest. Real quick, any comic books that come to your mind for somebody new who wants to read some Aquaman? Where should they jump on board?
Well, and I actually went through it because I saved my notes from the Comic Character of the Week, but I don't have some of the early ones we did because I went through and was going to pull those out. And of course, I didn't have the Aquaman one. So off the top of my head, I would say the issues of Adventure Comics that he was in were pretty good. The Peter David run was, when he got his hand eaten off and, grew the beard and the long hair and got the hook hand that
Time and Tide is a comic by Peter David that a lot of people were picking.
Yeah, Time and Tide was a 4-issue miniseries before his ongoing. That one was okay. It wasn't great. It was okay. But the regular the Peter David, the regular series was great. The Jeff Johns run on the Aquaman book when they had relaunched it for New 52. And it was actually, he was doing it before New 52 and then relaunched it with New 52. Those ones are both really good. When they relaunched JLA and it had the Big Seven, and he was in that team book for a long time, that was really good. There was a short series that ran, I want to say it was 13 issues in the New 52 era called Aquaman and the Others, where it was Aquaman and then this other group that had flashbacks and showed that it was this group that came together when he was younger and starting out, and then they have to come back together again. That was a really good. Real
quick, Bruce said Grill Bill for the F list, Carface, and then he did say Peter David run.
Yeah, Grill Bill. That would have been a better name than Carface. Off the top of my head, those are some of the ones that I would recommend.
Yeah, me too. I was gonna come with Time and Tide, and I was gonna say The Death of the Prince. If you want to get something a little bit darker, a darker story, like not especially
that's from the Adventure Comics issues.
Yes, and then I thought let me get in touch with a couple others. I thought let me, a certain guy we know that goes by Uncle Gary is a huge Aquaman fan. So I asked him, what does he think?
Yeah, that's what he say. Character.
Yeah, so Uncle Gary said he would go Jeff Johns' New 52 run, which is volume 7. He would go Peter David's run, which is volume 5, and he would Jim Mapiro's Death of a Prince storyline.
Yeah, the Adventure Comics one.
And then Dan, I decided to ask. I said, let me see what AI tells somebody. And it went with Aquaman Volume 1. It said The Trench from the New 52. And then it had said Aquaman Volume 3, Throne of Atlantis. It said Aquaman Volume 1, The Drowning. Yeah, so that's what. And it did say Aquaman. It said by Peter David. Chris says Aquaman smells like fish. I would assume so. He rides fish sometimes too. There's that image of him riding the two fish. And then it went with Justice League, Throne of Atlantis.
Yeah, that was a good storyline.
So, Dan, you were saying like you were trying to find your notes from Comic Character of the Week. I went back and I found the episode.
I didn't have time. I didn't have time to go back and rewatch it because when sometimes we do these revisits, and we'll do one on Aquaman one day because Gary wasn't on there when we initially did it. That's his favorite character, so Aquaman likes fish sticks.
Boot City. Aquaman is a pretty good character with a good writer. And look at that. Uncle Gary comes in and says, how dare you have this reading subject when I'm not on? Even Jamie was surprised when he saw it in the show notes. It was Sal's pick. A young man named Sal said, I'm new to Aquaman. What should I read first? But I went back and I did find that episode, Dan. I know it's been a long time. I know you had short notice on this one, but I went back and I found it. For Aquaman, Sal's recommended reading was The Search for Mira, Aquaman number 40 through 48. Sub Diego, Aquaman 15 through 22.
That was a really cool storyline.
You went Aquaman Volume 1, The Trench. Kevin was on the episode with you guys as well. Archduke Kevy. He went with Aquaman, American Title.
Yeah, that was good.
A lot of us were picking this one. He went with Aquaman, Time and Tide. And he went with Aquaman, Sub Diego. Then there was... let's see, Boo says, yeah, Aquaman and Kenya, two people who live on fish sticks. Jamie went with Aquaman, Drowned Earth, Aquaman Out of Darkness, and he also went with Aquaman, Death of a Prince. And this guy I know named Dan Kelly went with Aquaman, Time and Tide. Also went with Aquaman Volume 6, issues 15 through 20, American Title, and then Aquaman Volume 1, The Trench.
Yeah.
So there you go. Young man named Sal who was new to Aquaman. We've mentioned quite a few of them. Like I said, certain ones that were mentioned quite a bit. The Time and Tide was mentioned quite a bit. The Death of the Prince was mentioned a lot. And so there you go. You got quite a few books that you can check out for Aquaman.
Yeah, and I have to ask Sal, like, what made it seems so random as a topic.
I was going to get him. I told Jamie, I said, I'm going to get Sal. I'm going to ask him why. I was so curious as to what randomly made him choose Aquaman for today. And then he suddenly got tickets to a Caps game. So,
yeah, because
he just set us up.
There's no, the current Aquaman series that's going on is good, but there's no massive crossover where he's a major part of it. There's no movie, TV show thing going on or video game or anything. So
Chris says, my favorite Aquaman story is Bloated Body Floating in the Bay. Dude, I read that. No, I'm joking. I know you're lying to me. That's not a real story.
Funny because that's also what that's also the title of Chris's forthcoming autobiography.
Chris, I'll give it a read. Yes, there you go, everybody. If you're new to Aquaman, or if you just feel like jumping onto Aquaman, like I said, there's quite a few comic books we just mentioned for you to check out. And like we said, there's an episode of comics. There's an episode of Comic Character of the Week, Aquaman. And like I said, Dan, it sounds like it would definitely be good to have an Aquaman revisit. Like I said, especially with Uncle Gary, who's the huge Aquaman fan. Yeah, he wasn't on station back then. So like I said, it was an old episode. So it'd be good to get a new, fresh perspective on all things Aquaman. But speaking of Comic Character of the Week, Dan, who is the star for tomorrow?
Tomorrow actually it's not a revisit. It's not a new episode. It's 3 previous episodes put together for the Trinity, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman.
Okay, cool. Yes, that's a different thing. Yeah, putting 3 episodes together.
Yeah, so you get to see me and Sal and Jamie and Uncle Gary and Kevin. So yeah, ought to be good that you can go and rewatch them all at once and not have to scroll back through a bunch of old videos. They're just right there.
Yes, I would make sure to check that out. And then, of course, on Saturday, Comics Unleashed. And then the usual things. We're on all the socials. As Uncle Gary says, we're dripping and we want to give them all to you at the Codex Station. Also, before we go, one more time, the CBC Awards are coming up. www.cbcawards.org. Help the Codex Station win some great awards. Sell the Slab Guy from the Codex Station is up for Most Engaging Host. The Codex Station is up for Best Entertaining Content. And the Codex Station is up for Best Informative Content. And then Comics Unleashed from the Codex Station is up for Best Live Stream. And also Comics Unleashed is up for Best Live Stream. So if you haven't done so, please get those votes in now. We want those bragging rights. But we thank you all for getting us this far. Chris says Aquaman loves eating sushi, which is what he calls Mira's nethers.
Wow.
Wow. I'm sure that's what Aquaman says too, right? Or maybe Mira says that. If Aquaman is, if he's living up to the task.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, like I said, so also feel free to check us out. www.thecodexstation.com. You could meet the team, meet merch. Meet the team, get merch, and all that good stuff. So, once again, I'm Sonny Kruger. I thank you all for joining me. I was joined today by Dan Kelly, who jumped in on short notice to make this thing happen. Hope you all have a great time. And, watch out for shady characters like Carface.
So stupid.
Take care, everyone.
You